The Halo universe has been explored in video games, books, and graphic novels, and now anime gets its turn.
It's safe to say that this project was always kind of bubbling under the surface. Back when I was at Bungie, we'd always discussed it. It didn't take off until I got to Microsoft properly, but the seed definitely germinated years ago, and we said, who are our favorite anime studios? Who are the directors and the artists that we'd most like to work with? And we had some longer discussions where we thought which styles would be good for which subjects and who would be good for certain stories. And we made a short list of studios that we wanted to work with, and we approached them, and basically almost every one of them said yes right away.
Halo Legends will cover a far broader timeline than the video games have previously touched upon.
We have one episode that is probably going to be a great primer for people on the scope of the Halo universe, and right now it's called Origins, and it really deals with the history not just of the Spartan program and the UNSC and the kind of human story, but it goes back 150,000 years to the origin of the Halo project, the weapon array that this ancient vanished civilization called the Forerunners instigated to combat the Flood. And so we cover all of that period right up until the events at the end of Halo 3. And it's obviously a lot to compress. That episode, for that very reason, is split into two parts. But it takes a very unusual narrative style, and I think it's going to be one of the more interesting episodes, and certainly one of the deeper ones.
Frank O'Connor himself has always been curious about one of the characters introduced in Halo 2.
I always wanted to know more about the elite culture. You know, they're obviously this warrior culture, and honor is a big part of their culture, and you have stories like the Arbiter from Halo 2, and a lot of this stuff is just kind of put out there, and you don't really know what the origin or the history of these characters is. And so we use this as an opportunity to go very deep. We try to be careful to make all these stories very approachable and very universal, so that you don't actually have to have read any Halo novels or any other deeper Halo material to understand these stories. They should be very approachable to anyone, but they do illuminate corners of the universe that have previously just been in the shadows.
The experience of watching Halo move from one art form to another has been an interesting transition for Frank O'Connor.
The really exciting part is that with varying degrees, we created all the stories. We wanted them obviously all to stay firmly in canon and explore areas of the universe that we'd never explored before. So we worked very closely with our Japanese friends and artists and creators and writers to make sure that these were stories that we wanted to tell. It's amazing to see that interpretation come back and things that you hadn't considered, and the craft of it, the editing, the direction, and they've made all of what we thought were great ideas to begin with just unbelievably better by their input and their creativity.
Halo Legends has been in production for a little over a year and is now beginning to come together.
We're still working on some of the dubbing, and we're still even doing voice casting for a couple of episodes, but we're in this really exciting period right now where near-finished versions of all the episodes are rolling in every day, and a couple of them are completely done and in the can, and it's starting to feel really cool and really exciting.
Halo Legends will be available for download on DVD and Blu-ray early 2010. For MSNBC.com, I'm Todd Kenrick.